The Tale of the Hedley Kow. We all have our favourite folk and fairy tales when we're growing up. For me, one of my absolute favourites is a little known but very inspiring story called The Tale of the Hedley Kow. At the heart of the story is gratitude, of making the most out of what we have and realising that experiences and memories can be far more valuable than material wealth. The story was first collected and written down in 1894 in More English Fairy Tales by Joseph Jacobs, although the story itself is much older. The Hedley of the title is Hedley on the Hill, a rather lovely village in Northumberland, not far from Hadrian's Wall, and the cow in question, spelled with a K not a C, is a shape-shifting bogle or goblin. Now the cow is a particularly naughty little trickster who gets his kicks from annoying greedy people, but not everyone in the world is a greedy so-and-so. One fine and sunny day the tricky cow is up to his usual no good. He shape-shifts himself into the form of a jug and lies by the side of the road, waiting for an unsuspecting victim to prank. Oh, what fun he will have driving that poor person to despair. Well, along comes a lovely but poor old lady on her way home from the market. She spies the jug by the side of the road and thinks to herself that there must be some problem with it for someone to discard such a nice and useful jug as that. She wanders up to take a closer look, expecting to find a crack or a hole, but oh no, it has no such damage and seems to be in perfectly good condition. And wouldn't it make a beautiful flower vase to place on her mantelpiece? Then she looks inside, and she sees that the jug is full of gold coins. Now the old lady cannot believe her good fortune and decides to drag the jug home by wrapping it half in her shawl, as it's kind of heavy. After dragging it for a while and frankly not believing her luck, she decides to take another peek at the jug, only to find the jug has somehow transformed into a bar of silver. Does the old lady mind this? No, she's quite happy. She thinks silver is better than gold, as it's less likely to be stolen, and carries on towards home. After a while longer, she once again takes a look at the goodies in her shawl, and finds the silver bar is now a chunk of iron ore. Oh goody, she thinks to herself, iron ore is much easier to sell than gold or silver, and she knows the village smith will always pay well for a nice lump of iron ore. On she goes again, but just as she's getting back closer to home, she looks in her shawl, and the iron is gone, replaced with a lump of plain old rock. Now she's been looking earlier for a good doorstep and hadn't actually found one, but she thinks that this rock will do very well for the job, so she's still a very happy little bunny. On she goes to her home, where she carefully unwraps her shawl. As she does so, the rock transforms into the gangly, cloven-hoofed Hedley Kow, who takes a bow and then trots off, laughing his head off all the way. Does the old woman feel robbed? Is she upset at her treasures gradually decreasing in value? No, she doesn't mind at all. She knows that she still ended her day with more than she started with, and she is richer for it. The old woman starts laughing too, and proclaims aloud how lucky and blessed she has been to meet the Hedley Kow. She feels enriched by the experience and will treasure it for the rest of her days. Plus, of course, it'll make a lovely tale to tell her friends and neighbours, and a good tale is worth its weight in gold. You see, money and precious metals are not the only form of treasure in the world. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video.